That's a secret I'll never tell. You know you love me.
Hi, collective. Welcome to a kind of a precursor for the monthly zodiac, and this is to give you kind of an idea of what you would experience if you were to join Winner Circle members only. So we're going to do a short forecast for each of the signs. So let's hop right on into it with Capricorn energy. So Capricorn, what's going on with you? And the timestamps will be listed down below so that you can skip to your selection. Okay, Capricorn. So you are getting communication this month about something. You could be, this is about an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. And then we have mysticism. So what's happening for you this month? And for Capricorn, I think that some of you guys, if you are new to spirituality, this mysticism could seem daunting, scary, or you could literally be struggling between maybe mysticism and some type of psychiatric disorder. Okay, so I think that this is not, if you consider yourself to be a maven, I think that it is, you guys have been on this pursuit of direct, personal, and indirect experiences with the divine. Okay, these are concepts about the absolute, the ultimate reality, the fundamental reality that lies beyond, and your experience bypasses conventional intelligence and religious dogma. So there has been union with the transcendent. So you have transcended the conventional religious dogma and intellectual capacity. So you could feel very apathetic and bored within your life, especially people who you might feel like you have a conventional beauty, or you feel like that you're just a convention. You might feel like nothing is really special about you, but people see you and start getting aggressive. Like, it's like you might not think that you're all that. You're like, damn, I'm not even all that. But people, it's your aura that radiates. You're walking around having this mystical ass experience, and some people do not know that you're having this mystical experience, that you've transcended a lot of their conventional behavior, and the way that people react to your beauty and your presence and anything. It's like a siren that goes off in their heads where they can't resist you. It becomes obsessive compulsive. It becomes harassing. Something where you have to show people the door a lot. You show people the door a lot, or you leave a lot of places often, because while you think that you're like these conventional people keep getting out of control or something like that. Okay, so what happens for you, Capricorn, in the month of March, and kind of how this could be a prelude for you for the winners only. Okay, so let's see, Capricorn, we have this woman, deep thoughts, and then a false person. I think that there were romantic, I don't know if you are it doesn't matter your gender, but some of you guys may have been friends with this woman. You may have been romantic with this woman, but there's a woman here that is a false person. And some of you guys, this woman is your ex, or this woman was previously supportive of you, you guys are still, you might be dealing with a psychiatric issue, or alongside, having this mystical experience of discerning a false person. So that is the big challenge that you've been having. You could be having. So tell me, what do you need? Where are we moving? Some of you guys, this, you know, this is your soulmate's ex, or some older woman that they've known before you, some woman that was in your house. This also could have been a third party that they have been entertaining because they have been projecting toxic expectations onto your age difference. This person previously someone could have had romantic feelings for this woman, and they could have been posing as intimate in their one-on-one relationships and pretending to be nurturing, sensitive, and caring. And this person is in deep thoughts about how this woman has been false, or this is you. Okay, and I think through mysticism, they have unlocked a key that's putting an ending to this defensive projection from this woman. Okay, so this has been why you've been delayed. Okay, I'm also getting at someone that has a square body type, someone who doesn't have hips. So the expectation was that they were more trustworthy than you because your body type is like a siren or something that gets you a lot of attention, and this other woman was kind of just like dissipating, not getting as much attention, doesn't have hips. And you know, a lot of people will project onto your body type and villainize you for having this body type, but really it was you were the true love, and this other person was the false person, and they projected onto your beauty. Okay, so what do you need to know for March? Yeah, this is the imbalanced thought that they have about this woman, this ex that was a false person. I definitely think this woman may have reflected some of their masculine energy, but this is all their hidden motivation to do something false, like expressing, reflecting the masculine's personality, interests, hobbies are all dangerous, weaponized communication to trap them into thinking that this was a romantic relationship, thinking that they were the divine feminine, but they were really driven by a selfish and intense desire to do something false or whatever. With the Four of Wands, yeah, this woman that is around, I think that this person, someone has romantic feelings for this woman, or this woman has someone. This is like a brainwashing. This woman is a false woman in the environment, and through mysticism is how we are discerning that they're false. So we previously were having fun with this woman, but this woman is a con artist. With the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, we thought that this person was, some of them, they could, I don't know, I feel like a lot of this is like this is someone who's wearing a tie, is what I'm hearing. It's like something where they're like, there is a woman that could be blocking an opportunity for you, a financial opportunity, a marriage opportunity, but this woman has been false. Like they might be a good time, but this is all a con. Okay, some of you have romantic, if this is the same gender relationship, this woman may have supported your growth in some type of way, or you might have seen the beauty in this woman. But I think that if this is a same gender relationship and they are considered to be less beautiful than you, just don't think that that's going anywhere. I think that you might be attracted to them because some of you guys are fluid within your sexuality, but if you have a same gender relationship and you're a woman and they're a woman and they're a less beautiful woman, I just don't think that it'll work out. Okay, personally. So some of you guys do have romantic feelings for an older woman. Yeah, the Knight of Cups. Some of you guys, this is the same gender relationship, but this person, they have been coming around with a hidden motivation. This is really about your beauty. Okay, some of you guys have had sex with this woman, same gender, or this could be their ex that they have invested in previously, but this person was a con, or something like that. But whatever this means, I think that something where you might think that they're a good time, or you might think that they, you might, still get dreamy or passionate about them, or think about their potential. But I think that through mysticism is how you get the truth about how they have been a con. You're not actually working with this woman, okay? This woman is, this is the end of the relationship with this woman, okay? So, let me see with the King of Pentacles. Yeah, I think that you guys invested a lot in the relationship, but I think that at this point, if you still are not collaborating with this woman, then this, you know, they may have previously supported the growth, but I think through your mystical journey and you reaching the transcendent nature of the cause, this is just, if they have not been able to communicate or do something for you, work something in your favor, I think that you can just sum it up as a deception if the reality is not what you desire, okay? That's what I'm seeing. Capricorn, your precursor for the extended over on winners only, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hi Aquarius, welcome to the precursor for winners only, so you can access the extended down below if you find anything urgent or that you want to dig into deeper. So let's see what's going on for you for March. Aquarius, what's going on for you for March? Enlightenment. Okay, nice. Your enlightenment brings you a great fortune. So you, especially kind of piggybacking off of Capricorn's energy, like this is a transcendent amount of knowledge, okay? This is especially if you've risen above a brainwashing, you are really not, you know, most people do not have this enlightenment that you have, okay? So I think that, you know, you're definitely involved in an intellectual and cultural movement. So this could even be exploring European intellect. I'm also hearing key ideas about your natural rights, your liberty, your progress, if you are involved in a constitutional government. And I also think that something, especially, you know, with this enlightenment, this could be an enlightenment about a brainwashing where this enlightenment challenges a traditional authority. What you are exploring is a scientific, political, and philosophical revolution. Your enlightenment and your great fortune is influencing modern concepts of democracy, human rights, and definitely the separation of church and state. So because you have an enlightenment of around, you know, these important matters and how you've been able to draw empirical data, how you've been able to reason, how you've been an individual focusing on your self-governance, how you have improved yourself through rational changes, I think that you have really been focusing on your individual liberties, like your freedom of speech and your natural rights, and especially the separation of church and state has allowed you to release religious dogma that have been outdated and outmoded, and have promoted freedom of belief, where you decide what you're tolerant of, okay? You decide what you're tolerant of, Aquarius. So we have the stork here. With this, I think that your enlightenment is growing. Especially the stork could represent family, ancestry as well, like evolving in ancestral patterning, evolving from where you're from and accessing a more fundamental reality. Especially like some of you guys, this is a change in your belief system where you release a religious dogma and transition into something that's more scientific or philosophical, okay? I definitely see a lot of you dreaming and barking at the moon, okay? There are people with this snake, there are people who see that this progress around, like this enlightenment is a progress from an ancestral patterning. So a lot of these people with the epigenetics from your ancestry, they are in an uproar about your great fortune this month, okay? Because they were not able to explore something that was scientifical or empirical or mathematical, how they chose to remain skeptic over tradition and faith, how they haven't been able to really reason. So there's a lot of progress, and this progress that's being reflected to your enemies and haters in the way that you communicate is such a big difference. Like they can't talk like you, they can't reason like you, they don't have enough enlightenment the way that you have, they don't have enough study the way that you have. And this progress that you've made most recently have put a big difference between you and somebody else, and that you have been inheriting the great fortune as divine feminine receptivity, and how you have, like, you should definitely watch my recent diary. I talk a lot about evolving by adapting through information and enlightenment. So this progress that you're making is a great advancement that they couldn't fathom, and they know that it is it is an evolution from where they stole from you. These people, you know, your ancestry, where you come from, they stole something from you and tried to leave you without security. And so I think that the way that you really recovered is you grew in enlightenment around the theft, which may have been you discerning that it was ancestral epigenetics, that it was a scarcity trauma, that, you know, you started to realize that this was a fight for existence. And this progress that you've made have put you put a big difference between you and those who stole from you, and you are getting the endowed the great fortune. You have been the one that have received the inheritance because you evolved from where they stole. You got enlightened from where they stole, and they were not expecting you to recover, and it was all through an addressing of your personal liberties. Okay, so, you know, this could be an Aquarius that's pissed off, right? They tried to steal, you know, and they tried to steal inheritance or something like that. Okay, but they were not enlightened enough to endow it. Okay, so tell me about what's going on, Aquarius. Yeah, the High Honors, and then the Nine of Cups. Okay, so the progress is that you actually get emotional fulfillment. You actually get your wish fulfillment. These people who stole from you actually put you on path to receiving the highest honor. So a lot of you guys, these people, they tried to steal your enlightenment, and they tried to, you know, because this was about your beauty. So this was a fight for existence, as they see that you were the natural selection in the environment, and that you were the one that had the information to adapt in the ever-changing society, where there has been more self-governance, and where there has been less there's been more freedom of belief. And so they try to mimic your mind and speech, to try to influence when they were maybe the traditional authority or the people that were already established. But I think that you're getting your wish fulfillment through working your occupation. You receive the highest honor is what I'm hearing. Okay, and so you are definitely divinely protected. There's risk and danger here, because these thieves tried to steal your honor. Okay, but they weren't able to get away with it. And I feel like there is, you know, this could be whoever stole from you. You're finally getting enlightened that this was the reason that they stole from you, was because they wanted high honors too, but they were not enlightened enough to fulfill. Okay, they were not considered the 10 out of 10. Okay, and so that's why it was a fight for the resources. LOL. So they saw you as having the more advantageous traits. We have the Lovers. Okay, we have the Page of Pentacles reversed, and then we have the Three of Swords. Okay, so yeah, this person, you know, with the Eight of Pentacles, I think that this person who tried to steal, it's like something where they tried to steal your high honor. This could even been that they tried to steal a romantic partner, and this person, This person, this has just been a long road. With the Lovers, this has been a long road. And like I said before, when we think about, you know, unnatural selection with the Page of Pentacles reverse, no matter how much they try to steal enlightenment, they try to steal attention. But I think that in divine timing, they grew more and more aggressive, and it showed people that this was a facade that they were wearing. Okay, I think that this has been a journey to unconditional love. Like we know that this was all about your beauty or your advantageous traits, but what we truly learned is that like they were never enlightened to have a plan that works with the Page of Pentacles. And so I think that in the month of, you know, in March, someone is really heartbroken about your high honor and your fulfillment, and how it has led to a pure, devoted and committed relationship where there's men dreaming about you. Okay, I'm hearing that there are men dreaming about you, and they were like used as pawns because they never had the full enlightenment. And so they're heartbroken to see that your partner keeps, you know, that they're dreaming about you with the King of Wands. Okay, and they just use them as pawns to master themselves with the Eight of Pentacles, that they were never a plan that worked. They were never considered the 10 out of 10. And they will make this, they'll say that you're the one that got on the commercial, or you're the one that got the highest honor because you had the advantageous traits. But really, it was that they tried to steal enlightenment as well and tried to use them. So they were a pawn as a defense mechanism, sublimation, and displacement of their strong emotions for you, right? LOL, this person is in love with you, and they just were never focused and dedicated on these other people. Those were just people that they may have used to communicate with so that they can master their relationship with you. While you were working your occupation, learning and training, this person is just using these pawns as self-mastery to get more information about your ancestry and where you come from, and they use it to nurture you. And so this breaks their heart to see that you were the one that had got the inheritance of the great fortune after they tried to steal high honors. But we got discerned over time. I'm hearing time. You know, you stood the test of time. You were able to endure performance while you master your occupation, and they just got more. The more you mastered, you out communicated them, you out strategized them. You were the one that had the stakes in the future. You were the one that had the plan that works. And they just grew more aggressive, and it just showed all over their face and attitude and how they communicate that they were jealous. Okay, so it's official news that they were thieves trying to steal high honor. And so everything that was done where they were able to maybe get high honor from mimicking your mind and speech is getting undone. They're getting news that this person loves you unconditionally, and that they're just used as pawns in this discord before we put them in prison or something like that. That's what I'm saying, Aquarius. Let me know how March resonates, and definitely check out the deep dive on winners only, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hi Pisces, welcome to March 2026. Let's see what's going on. You know, as your precursor to winners only, definitely join winners only. We have the monthly forecast and deep dives there. Okay, Pisces. Bittersweet. It's bittersweet. Yeah, it's definitely bittersweet. I definitely think that you're experiencing complex emotions, because in the end, this has really been unfortunate. I think that you're very sad about relationships that are getting canceled. You're very discouraged even, I think, because certain relationships that you thought were deep and tenacious, they just got more and more revealed that they were brainwashed. I think that you have manifested healthy relationships, but I think that, you know, this has been a long road. And so the end of this trial feels like there are sweet results here, but there's definitely some bitterness here, okay? Because some of you guys are getting communication that there's a brainwashing, or that you're getting news about betrayals. You're getting news about people who really fell short, okay? Your perceptions as you get this sweet result, or as you get this positive outcome or this good outcome, this is disillusioning you with some other experiences that you've had on this long road, and helping you get the communication you need to get closure. Okay. Yeah, I definitely think there is the burden of loss and grief here, because there's some people who have been, this has been bad. Okay, so tell me, what is the Tower about, Pisces? Okay, yeah, you're definitely like, this has been just like getting more information that changes your understanding of certain relationships, certain experiences, attachments to memories and people, where you feel the burden. Okay, you feel the burden of the loss, especially if these are people that you've been with since you were a child. Okay, around 3 to 6 years, there are people who have to leave the Garden of Eden. And so that means, some of that is, it's a man. Okay, some of you guys, it's a man that has to, that's now your ex, that has to leave the Garden of Eden. And people see your village and your community as a very nurturing and caring environment. So this discord that has been going on in the community is creating a tremendous amount of grief and burden and harsh communication. But we are getting, as we journey, we are getting more information as to why there has been this discord or harsh communication, and a lot of this has been a big violation. So people, I think that harmony may restore in your home and marriage, but there's been so much conflict and discord about people who are leaving the garden, or people who are wasting away, dissipating, because they were not able to grow with us. Okay, it's bittersweet, but I think that your marriage, you get your marriage, but it is, it's bittersweet. You get your good outcome, but it's bittersweet. Okay, because certain people that you've known from your childhood, they stopped creating with you. They stopped. Some of them feel like they stopped knowing who you were. So these could be people who lost communication altogether. Okay, they lost, they lost full security. And because your community and village is known as this, nurturing, caring environment that's meant for learning, these people not coming along with us is a big, I think that you still maintain a beautiful community, but some people that you may have known since you were a child have to leave, is what I'm hearing, and that's bittersweet. Okay, that's bittersweet. So we have the Knight of Wands, we have Death, and then we have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so I think that these people that you're grieving this month, they just, these are people that you may have known since you were a child, and people that you may have communicated with. But these people, it's, with the Knight of Wands, they were fickle. Okay, and I think that you definitely unlocked a key with them. You may have given each other gifts, received gifts, given gifts, but these people never, if they didn't evolve by now, then they just chose to be a convention. They chose to be a loser. And kind of piggybacking off of Aquarius energy, these were people who did not, they truly did not get enlightened. Okay, and they just decided to be, they decided to be a loser. They decided not to apply their learning. Some of them, they have too much PTSD, and so this person is truly, this person, they see that you, some of them are deliberately, disobeying you, betraying you. You are getting a good outcome. You are getting your great fortune. But some of these relationships that you've had, you've been in since you were a child, those people, if they're not here celebrating with you, okay, they feel burdened watching your garden. They feel burdened watching your sweet results. since you were a child, and they have been, you know, I think that they have been on this long road of not able to having a functioning relationship with you. Okay. If this is your partner, this partner that you could be considering marriage with, you will have information. You will exchange communication with these people, but I'm hearing that they're kind of like a Pop-Tart or something like that. This person, if they have, you know, you guys, this person is burdened by the birds and the bongos that are in the village that have not transitioned. So, you know, if you see them sending letters and communications and correspondences to other people, I think that represents their burden, how they feel grief, a sense of loss. Some men that may feel grief or sense of loss with the birds that have been in the garden. They're waiting for your relationship to mature, but you know, we have to, I think that you are still grieving relationships. This is your grief ultimately, I think, you know, and they know that you have PTSD, or they have PTSD about the people who have been in your community or in your home and that have had a common interest, hobby, work related matter, and these people have been creating, they haven't done anything innovative, and they don't do anything that stands out. And so, you know, if they send letters to other people, it's literally them getting burdened by their convention, them getting burdened by loss. Some of them, they feel like they can lose everything being with you because there's so many more of these conventions than you. They are these, you know, it's bittersweet because they were not aligned. And I think that your partner is focused on you, and they know that those are just losers and conventions, but we're grief stricken that they did not continue to be aligned while we grow and learn and expand together. So this is, you know, they might have waves of pessimism that cause them to flee from the relationship, but I think that just means that more grieving and healing needs to be done. Okay, Pisces, let me know how this resonates. I think that you're definitely getting what you want, but I think that, you know, your community is burdened by the conventions and the people who deliberately betrayed and disobeyed, and your community and your environment is very strict, your workplace very strict, and they were just not aligned. So it's really, you know, I think that the grief is the attachment to the memories and the experiences that we've had before we matured, and we now, in hindsight, we can let go of our attachment to those memories and experiences because they were never aligned. Okay, thank you, Pisces. Let me know how that resonates, and I'll see you guys next month. Bye. Hi, Aries. Welcome to your precursor for the winners only exclusive extended. What do you need to know for the month of March, Aries? Okay, recovery, definitely recovering. And I think that as you recover, you're making a discovery at the same time. Okay, so tell me more. Aries, you're recovering from a violence and aggression. This is bullying. Okay, some of you guys were bullied, or you were harassed. Okay, so we have the cat, we have the key, and then we have the ring. Okay, so you guys are manifesting with purity and devotion, and this could involve, like, you guys are you're about to cut some contracts, and I think that, you know, the more you recover, the more you're able to unlock the key, or unlock the, like, you're able to access the information about a karmic contract, some karma that you're recovering from, a karmic contract that needs to play out. And this is a lot of, there are restrictions, limitations. That's why it's karmic. So this ring is, this person, this feels like someone that, where you get even. Okay, this is a situation where you get even, because this person, they have binded themselves to you, but it was like it was violence and aggression, and you recovering is like you getting to this point where you are getting even. It's like you're catching up with people where they thought that their violence and aggression was going to set you back. You're catching up with people. You're accessing information that you need to cut a contract. You're getting allies. So, I think that you recover from what happened, okay, with, the Two of Wands, okay. So I think that, you get the information that you need, but I think that you go tunnel vision this month. Like you lock in, totally lock in, diva, for real, because you are moving forward, and this is where you get to look, you get even, and you get to look beyond them, okay. So whatever you're recovering from, you get to, I'm hearing you smoke them, okay. You smoked them, you left them in the dust, you got even. You didn't get mad, bitch, you got even, okay. This bitch got mad. I'm hearing somebody got mad, and they may have done something like with the violence and aggression that may have been a traumatic experience that you needed to recover from. I'm hearing that this was a karmic challenge to your natural gift. And so you, something with the key is that you hone a natural gift, and you're able to end a contract, or you start planning to end, like to fulfill the contract or something like that. Yeah, this person was a shadow attachment, the devil in the reverse. And everybody's like, you see how there's 3 people looking? I think that like there's people here watching you recover. And so like, you see how they're all looking around, and I think that they push you toward your satisfaction. I think that, these cats energies, it feels like there are people in your environment or around you that motivate you and push you towards your desired outcome. But at the same time, they know that, they motivate you and give you words of encouragement because they know that you're recovering from something. And so when people are realizing what you're recovering from and who the guilty parties are in this matter, and so they're all looking at this person with a side eye. There's somebody here looking at someone with a side eye. I'm hearing a sir. There's somebody here that's looking, or people that are just like, as we make this like cognitive call, something where you hone a cognitive skill, and this is able to get you the written and verbal communication skills that you need to cut a contract. And the more you get these written and verbal communication skills, the more the community is looking around at these people, seeing that they were a shadow attachment the whole time, okay. That's wild. Oh my God, it's like something where they're trying to come around and they're trying to come around, or they're trying to show their heart. They're trying to ask for forgiveness. I'm hearing people are dropping to their knees, begging and, yielding and getting submissive. And, people are really, the more that you gain the more that you hone this cognitive skill, or the more that you get the written, verbal, and conscious skills around a matter, that's helping you with this ring cut a contract, okay. Cut a contract where it was just a brief, this was a brief illness, a brief sickness, and that it's you get the official good outcome, is what I'm hearing. You're getting an official good outcome where you get even with the recovery, and looking forward towards a positive future. But it's like something where they try to, like, they're trying to like ask for forgiveness, or they're wishing things could go back to the way they used to be. And you're just like, you see how in this picture her hand is up, she's like nah, I'm good, like, you can't touch me, you can't talk to me. Like, after doing something aggressive and violent that you needed to recover from, now they're like, oh, can we be friends again, or can I come along, or something like that. And you're just like, no. LOL. So, and everybody around is like, yeah, that's a no. Like, everybody's looking at you recover from something that they did, and they're just giving them this weird, like, everybody's like, that's weird. Like, it's like awkward and embarrassing. And so, you know, these people watching you recover, watching you get even, is giving them a lot of, is making them throw a lot of, you know, tantrums. Like I said, they do have, like, I think that in this situation, in the end, they had a spark of love for you. And they're like, oh, wait, I actually love that person, or I actually care about that person. They do care. You know, it's not that they don't care about you. They do care. But there was, you know, there was a situation where, like, it's even, or they get even is because it's divinely time for them to start caring and for you to stop caring. You know what I'm saying? Like, the tables turned in this situation where, you know, they feel, you know, they have volatile mood swings because now they missed an opportunity where this could have been a fulfilling relationship with the Ace of Cups. You know, these could have been, you know, these could have been friends, these could have been sisters, they could have been family. But now that you've gotten the conscious and written verbal skills around how they have done something violent that you needed to recover from, this is allowing you to cut a contract for a lease, or giving, or getting the information that you need to issue a court order. But there is a delay. There is a delay, but I think that just means more recovery needs to be done. I think that your allies, you and your allies have a shared value around this situation. Like I said, they push you towards your satisfaction, and they help you with your writing. They're helping you build this contract. They've already made you offers to help you build this contract, but it's something that they did. You know, I think that you all may be surprised to find these people that they were doing this. Like, as you get the conscious written and verbal skills, everyone is looking around like, we were not, you know, they're aligned with you in this recovery, and that these other people in the environment have been having volatile mood swings and shadow attachments, and they see that this was a missed opportunity, or that they really had, you know, you guys could have had, this could have been the start of a beautiful relationship. But actually, you know, you might say this self-love activation, or whatever, you know, cup of love that you might have for me, I'm actually going to use it to cut a contract to put you in prison, LOL, or to punish them for something. With the Five of Wands, and then the Page of Pentacles, you're definitely focused on this contract. And some of you guys have been working at this contract for years, or it's been fatiguing because you've also been sick or ill. But it was just a brief illness, is what I'm hearing. It was just a brief illness. You get a lot of high honors, and you got even. And now that you are, you know, this progress that you've been making since you were a child, and honing a cognitive skill or a gift, is helping you get a lot of rewarding recognition with the officials and the authorities that are going to help you. They've already approved a grant for you or something like that. They could have approved a grant for you. They could have auto-signed something for you. They already have given you approval. And so, you know, it's just in due time for you to get more consciousness, and you're very focused on that this month, I see. But I think that the resistance is that, you know, this could have been, the resistance is the Ace of Cups, where this could have been a fulfilling relationship. But once it was like you got to a point in the recovery where you realized that you got a communication about them, that they're part of the contract. And so I think that made you turn a negative judgment towards them. Okay, a very negative judgment. And it was divine. It was like they feel they're burdened by their regret, because while they were being violent and aggressive, as soon as you got the communication is when, you know, it's like you were growing a less interest in them as they were increasing their interest in you, or something like that. And that's how the tables turn. Yeah, these are relationships that are very, very over. Okay, the resentment is starting to grow because even though you may have had a spark of love for them, or you might have gotten communication that softened your heart, And this started to give people hope that you guys could repair a relationship, or that you could recover a relationship. But I think you said, you in this month, you said no, because it was like, it's not where the relationship is now. It was their intentions from the jump. Okay. And some of them, it's like they try to come, they have a spark of love for you now that you receive high honor, but they were really a shadow attachment this whole time, okay? Or someone that you need to cut a very big contract with to enforce something, okay? That's what I'm seeing, Aries. I hope that makes some kind of sense, but I'll see you guys in the extended over on winners only. Hi Taurus, welcome to March, the precursor for the extended. Go ahead and check it out. Join winners only to get access. So let's see what could be going on for you. And I'm hearing you're doing a very good job. Okay, you're doing a very good job. So I want you to remind you that this is not your fault. Okay, you're the one happy. Okay, LOL. I'm hearing so much joy coming in. I'm hearing pretty sundresses and pretty hairstyles, pretty hair accessories, lots of Mary Jane, okay, lots of flowers for yourself, lots of gifts, lots of you looking beautiful, okay? So let's, what is going on, Taurus, for the month of you, for the month of March for you, okay? We have the letter. I'm hearing that you're receiving letters and correspondences and comments that are making you very happy, okay? What happens, Taurus? Yeah, lots of letters, okay? Important communications, compliments about how you dress, and a lot of you guys, you are getting communications of unexpected money. And I think that this is unexpected because this is something that you've been manifesting since you were a child. And this is also the divine feminine receptivity. So you have received this by being joyful. This is how you've resolved the karmic challenge, is by being happy, friend. And so that is a big difference between the divine feminine and the unhealed feminine energy. Is if you're getting inheritance, that's a telltale sign that you are divine feminine. So go get your money, divine feminine. The letters that you're receiving are all helping you. They could be flashing through your brain, and I also feel like they are memories of joy, okay? And also you guys are you're shopping, okay? You're shopping a lot. You're getting a lot of unexpected money, gifts from men, gifts from community. And I'm also hearing wind of a big inheritance, okay? A letter of information about a big inheritance, and this commitment that this person has made for your inheritance is a big gift, okay? This is a big gift because you are a child, and you are getting, there's an official authority that is protecting you as a child, okay? And they're protecting your joy. I'm hearing this military of people is protecting your joy here on their official duties, sending you important information and correspondences about this money that you're receiving, a big commitment or a big inheritance. That's a gift to a child, is what I'm hearing. You are like the magical child that they've been wanting to disempower, but now that the official authorities are here, they're sending you the information that you need so that you can access your inheritance. And this is bringing you a lot of joy, is what I'm hearing, because all the trial and tribulation, I'm hearing a peaceful resolution of conflict. You're so happy that this conflict is getting put to bed. Okay, so Taurus, tell me more about this unexpected monies. Okay, Justice in the reverse. Yeah, this was a situation from your childhood where someone did not hold themselves responsible for something, and there was a big violation here with Justice. This could involve a big partner in your life. This could involve a partnership to a workplace or institution, like an educational institution, where this inheritance is deriving from a violation with a partner, okay, or a partnership to an organization. And so they never held responsibility for. So it was, you needed to reach I'm hearing that you needed to reach a higher official, and now that you are reaching a higher official, they are here resolving this financial dispute for you, okay, since you've been a child or something like that. Yeah, with the Seven of Swords, they were strategizing to such that you could not receive your inheritance, but you're very focused on your unexpected money. And this person, there's someone here that's waiting for you to mature, because you're a child, receiving a big inheritance, but they need to like release a burden about something else, okay? With the Four of Cups, they're still coming out of a state of apathy and stagnation. Or this is you, where you know, they have been, I just think that you I think that, you know, they are, you know, this has been a dangerous situation that involves a lot of risk. So you need to strategize a lot around how these, you know, these people who owe you inheritance have not been holding themselves accountable, okay? So I think that you're very focused on your goal and you're passionate, but you are coming out of a period of stagnation and getting maybe even a higher understanding or higher learning around who has been lacking accountability and why. And I think that this is a temporary depression. But if some of them, if they're, you know, there may have been a cycle where you guys they were looking at your beauty. And I think that once you took the beauty and the romantic option off the table, something where you're just like, don't consider me for sex, don't consider me for beauty, do not project onto my beauty whatsoever. This is a matter, like something where you got to the heart of the matter, and you found out that there were people who were not holding themselves accountable because they were projecting onto your beauty since you were a child. And now that you are mature and you understand your natural rights, you guys are very focused on this next goal. And you are getting the information that you need to resolve this problem, okay? Because they have been abusing their authority. They abuse their authority. That's what I'm hearing, okay? But you have a natural gift that they cannot match, is what I'm hearing, okay? I'm hearing a false person who saw you as a rich girl, and they lied, betrayed, or did not hold themselves accountable. They're trying to strategize this month because they see that you're getting the letters of your inheritance unfolding, and they're trying to do something to block it, okay? But I feel like if you're happy, that means you're on the right path. But I also feel like you have the psychic advantage over this situation as well. Tell me more about the Seven of Swords. The Empress, okay? I think that, you know, you are the Empress that's strategizing, okay? You are very rich, you know, after some violation or abuse of authority from an organization, institution, or partnership from your childhood. And now that you've been learning that this was all a projection of your beauty, you put them in something where you revealed their bias, or you revealed that they were trying to, that this was like a beauty contest or something like that. And this is why they have been delaying, is because they have not been wanting to hold themselves accountable, that this has all been an envy about your beauty, okay, or your riches. And they've been trying to justify why it was okay to violate you. And I think that you're finally putting this conflict to rest, you know, and your joy is restoring. And I know that it could feel hard because you've innovated something beautiful, but they have been making this about something. They've been making it about your beauty, so this has created a lot of hardships where people cannot enjoy the innovation. Instead, they project onto your beauty, okay? But I think that there is recovery this month, and this is just like a temporary depression or a delay where they feel unstable about the conventions, okay? And that's what I'm seeing, Taurus, about what is going on. For March, you are getting a lot of information about your unexpected money, but this is making people strategize on ways in which they can avoid holding themselves accountable for something because of disharmony and tension. I also feel like it could be competition. I think that you're considered to be the analytical, functional, and efficient person, but you know, they could feel, and I think that there is progress in your homecoming, but you know, some of you guys, you may have felt like it was a competition, especially if they were projecting onto your beauty, like something where it was it was aggressive or something like that, because it was just like, you know, and there was aggression because people were competing in a beauty contest, or they kept trying to justify why it was okay to hurt you because you were beautiful. I think that you were considered to have the more advantageous traits. But if this was, I think that like you just start letting these official authorities know that it will be no sex involved, it will be no romantic feelings, that it was just like something where you're letting them know that these are just professional relationships, so there's no need to consider our beauty. Thanks. Okay, thank you so much, Taurus. Let me know how this resonates, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hi, Gemini. Welcome to your precursor for the winners only extended. So definitely join winners only. Become a member of the winner circle, okay, and get access to our elite docket, okay. But let's get into it, Gemini. What do you need to know about March, and how could this help you as you reach your extended reading? Okay, soulmate. Okay, soulmate, what's the problem? Okay, soulmate, what's the problem? Somebody's married, okay, and you know, their marriage may have a high honor, okay, or this person wants to offer you marriage as a high honor, okay. So this person, you have been on a journey with this person, perhaps, okay. Tell me about your soulmate, Gemini. This is the person that has a mutual dream as you, okay. You got a big old tree building, okay, lots of keys unlocking, okay, and yeah, the official authority, okay, here to this official authority, like something where this person started off as an authority or as a boss, an ally, friend, brother, leader in a leadership position, and this person, you know, they have been looking at you, and some of you, this relationship is deepening, or it is changing, where they're part of your military already, but I think that some of them want to take it to the next level, okay. Some of them want to take it to the next level, okay. So tell me what about this key. Yeah, this person has been on a long road with you. They're your soulmate, and I'm hearing that this is the, you know, this is, some of you guys, this is your spouse. This is the siren spouse, but they've really had an issue with your age difference, okay. This person loves you, whoever this person is, they love you, but they've been trying to be respectful about the serious matter and things of that nature. This person, but they can't deny, it's like something where they're around you and you guys are getting a lot of honor, fame, and recognition, and they know you've been dealing with a false person, and so they've been around handling their official duties and things of that nature, and they just cannot, every time they come, they're trying not to let their intimacy that they have with you block their discernment in a situation, and they just feel like everything that you've built together over these long years of them, you know, in this work matter or in this professional matter with you, like this person, you know, they feel like you friend zone them, they've been a brother or friend, but this person, you guys, they have been building like a one-on-one relationship with you, or they were wondering, you know, they may not have been wondering if they would be able to because you were a child or something like that, but they see that, you know, you've had a lot of sorrow, and you know, some of them, they have their ex and you have your ex, and y'all just sitting around trying to cut these contracts and, you know, doing this professional work with one another, and there could even be risk and danger. But this person keeps, you know, they're wondering if they'll be able to take it to the next level after everything is signed, sealed, and delivered. They want to know that, you know, if you guys will, what will happen between the two of y'all, because, you know, they're trying to do their official duty, but they kind of getting excited about, you know, what things could be like in your relationship after the contract ends, okay? With the moon in the reverse, We have Justice in the reverse. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. This person, I think that they are still releasing, like, you know, they're not holding themselves accountable for how they have been, you know, how they have been attracted to a child. They don't want to see, they don't want to hold responsibility of having a house with a child. Okay, they're saying that you're too young, but they're saying that you're a siren and they can barely resist you. So they might want to stay in their official position and try to have you as like their sugar baby or something like that. Like some of them, they don't want people to know about your unconventional relationship because they have an authority position, and some of them will say that they were only choosing you because you were a siren. Okay, and some of them, this means that they have to divorce a relationship that already receives high honor, like something where they've been in an official position, but they have an intimacy with you or one-on-one relationship with you, and this person just cannot, you know, they feel like some of you have already been intimate with this person and they're married and you know it, and they're, you know, everyone will judge them because they'll say that you were a homewrecker, or they'll say that this person was violating their official position. And I think that right now they just want to keep the conditions professional until you resolve a professional matter, or some kind of other thing that they have to, like, maybe this is at work or like professional or court. And this person, they'll feel very guilty about leaving whoever they are married to. Okay, and so especially if you're younger than them, they will receive scrutiny about age difference. They will receive scrutiny about you being a homewrecker. They will say that they violated their official position to be with you, and they're just like, I actually really love that person. This person, this official or this authority, is actually really in love with you. Okay, but they keep having, you know, mood swings about their ex, or the woman that they're married to they'll need to divorce that. Okay, and so they want your relationship to mature, but I think that you already feel like it's been too long or something like that. But they also feel like there's somebody in their environment, the ex or the woman or the person that they're married to, is duplicitous and false, and they haven't held responsibility. And so they can have a hard time getting a divorce, or they can have there could be a struggle. There's a long road with this person. So, you know, right now you guys might just keep it professional, but I think that, you know, and that's how you guys, with the Six of Pentacles, you know, and the Fool, give and receive in harmony and recover from false people. You have, you know, something where you've had an ex and they had an ex, and both of you guys have been dealing with something false, and you coming together in a professional way, maybe having this common adversity of a false person. You guys are, you know, I'm hearing you guys are neurolinking, okay, coming together and getting the information that you need to discern a false person. Okay, and then you guys realize that you guys were soulmates. LOL. That's what I'm saying, Gemini. Let me know how this resonates for the month of March, and don't forget to check out the extended down below. Bye. Hi, Cancer. Welcome to your prerequisite for the extended reading. So let's get into March. Okay, so what's going on for March? What's going on for March? Ooh, Joy. I love that. That came out in a recent one as well. I can't remember which one. But let's see. What's going on for March? What's going on for March, Cancer? Ooh. Somebody that's in your house is going to prison. Okay, and this is somebody where you are receiving in official news that someone that was in your house that you may have been pure and devoted with is going to prison. Okay, you are getting information that this person has been obsessed with your joy, your pleasure, your sanctuary, and your intimacy. This person saw your home and they became obsessed with your home. Okay, and what makes you feel joy. It's like they saw photographs of your home. Maybe they saw pictures of your home. They saw high honors within your home. Maybe they saw you shining bright like a diamond. And this person attached to you with the pain and shame. Okay? Somebody, you made them feel like their home was dirty. Some of them, they didn't have an uncluttered space. They didn't have a high education. And some of them, they saw you focused on environmental social justice and governance. And these people did not have the same values that you have. They attacked your home and you because you had a communication skill, perhaps, and a high honor that suggested that you were in a different social class than them, and they felt that you had some type of privilege to have this kind of home. They saw flowers, or they saw a plant. They saw, some of them broke into your home. Some of them, they saw a type of window that they were jealous of. This is getting ridiculous, but it just came out of my head. They saw a different type of window that made them envious in your home. Okay, and these people have truly been envious of your house. So this has been the big problem. So your sanctuary is your joy and your peace and the place that you integrate yourself. And when they saw your closet, your windows, your wellness, your high honor around your home, your hair products or something like that, these people started to harass you or invade. You're getting, down to the bottom of it, that there are people who have been obsessed with your home, and they have been doing a lot to try to keep you from having a home. And this is the wildest, most bewildering experience, because there's someone who literally could not control themselves about your home. Okay? And this is coming to light, a pain and shame that they cannot escape, because they will have to face this truth in a public forum when they are sentenced to prison. Okay, this situation is bringing you unexpected money, but I think that this is something that you've been struggling with since you were a child, where people became unstable about your home. Okay, so we have the Knight of Swords, we have the Two of Pentacles, and then we have the Seven of Wands. Okay, so there has been there's joy here, but I feel like whoever this is going to prison, we're still balancing our perspective around them, because this was something unseen or concealed. We could not believe that they were, there are a lot of beautiful homes out here. And so when they became obsessed with your home, it seems absurd and outrageous, okay? That they went to these kinds of extremes. So it could be hard to accept that this was happening, okay? Because a lot of you just experienced your joy, and you have a lot of gratitude. But these people, they had an envy that was out of control, okay? Their envy got out of control, and they have not been able to, I think that you have been still juggling your perspective around what happened and why this happened, because you did not realize that your home was something that you had to defend. So with the Eight of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, and then the Seven of Wands, okay? I think in this month you are still getting your ideas going about the situation. So, like I said, y'all, this is bewildering. And I think that you, there was a lot of illusion, possibility, and like there was a lot of opportunity or possibility or illusion around this person. I think that you approached the relationship with a lot of purity and devotion, and this person is still trying to hold on to what they have left with you. Some of them, you know, they, as you get the information that they are going to prison or that they've been doing something extremely violating that will be putting them in prison, your purity and devotion in the situation has not changed, but I think that it's a missed opportunity where they realized that this was all about joy and purity and devotion. And while they spent so much time attacking, so much time envious, they were missing an opportunity to experience joy with you. So some of them, they really do, the reason why they really love your home, okay? They really love your approach to your life. But they have not been a fulfilling relationship because it always succumbs to envy, because it's not their home, okay? It's not their house. No matter how much of a tyrant they try to appear or try to act like, you know, it's their house, it's truly not their house, okay? If they're the ones going to prison, friend, it's not their house, okay? So, you know, your house brought a lot of sorrow, okay? And it's because it disillusioned these people. It showed them that their home was cluttered, showed them that they didn't have a spouse that was pure and devoted, showed them that their home did not have joy, that they did not have environmental sustainability. Some of them, they had bad feminine hygiene, or they just look, you just know from the way that they look that they have bad feminine hygiene, especially if they're envious of your home. Just know that they're opposite of your home, okay? So these people, you know, they saw you as a rich girl, and they saw you as a lover, a daughter, a sister, a colleague, a friend, and this is just not the experience that they're having. They don't add value to people, so they're not considered valuable. And so because they are not considered valuable, we're just throwing them in prison. So they'll know that they are the least value when they go to prison, okay? So I think that, you know, in this month, you are still getting your ideas going, you're being successful, you're standing up to a challenge, but I think that you're very depressed at how these people behaved that's putting them in prison, because you were pure and devoted with them. They ended up being a nightmare and terror. They ended up, you know, they're trying to heal and hold on to what they have with you. But some of these people, this is a mental illness that they've been juggling, that, you know, they're like, you know, they try to be pure and devoted. They find emotional satisfaction in you, but they've also caused a lot of sorrow, you know, violating your home. So I think that you, they come to work with you a lot, okay? Because your home represents the joy, and they represent a failure. And so they're still, it's like something where they're still trying to juggle their perspective about somebody who's been, someone who's been envious of your pleasure, sanctuary, and intimacy within your home. and they've been declining. It's like something where, you know, the more you reveal about the matter, this is so weird, it's like the more you reveal about the matter, the more they decline. And somebody, I think this could be an ally that's helping you put someone in prison. They're pure and devoted, but they feel like they need to master their perspective about this person who's going to prison. Okay, it's true that they're you know, they don't have a positive perspective of them. They don't really like them. But this person, you know, their projections make them, you know, this ally could also be projecting and showing an emotional insecurity. And it also represents a shadow attachment, pain, and shame that they've had about your joy in your home. This ally has had a lot of sorrow as well. So if they project, they are also in alignment with the same emotional insecurity that the violators have. And they need to release their defensiveness about your home. Okay, that's what I'm saying, Cancer. Let me know if that made any kind of sense, and I'll see you in the next one. Hi, Leo. Welcome to your prerequisite for the Winners Only Extended. Let's get into what you can look forward to in the month of March. Okay, what you can look forward to in the month of March. Destiny. Okay, it's definitely destiny unfolding. Okay, is destiny something destined, something fated, something inevitable. Okay, Leo, especially if you're a black person. Okay, tell me more, Leo. What about destiny? It feels like, you know, there's discord, okay? But this is destiny, so whoever's in a discord are not the advantageous trait. They're not the favorable destiny, okay? So there's some people who are praying for you, and then there are some people who are rigid, stubborn, cold, and closed off, okay, about this destiny. So we have the cat, we have the get together, and we have the child. Okay, so there has been a destined event happening since you've been a child. If you're dating an older person, they have been having a get together with someone older than you, or they have an ex that they have a child with, or that they have been relating to while you've been maturing and growing up. This person is definitely a friend or ally with the cat energy. But this person is burdened by the loss of someone at the party and celebration, okay? This person who, you know, this could be the grief of a child. This person who keeps coming around to get together, this child, especially if you're kind of continuing from Cancer's reading, this person who's been coming around to get together since, you know, if they're a child or since childhood, this person has had, there's someone that's burdened by grief and loss and someone suffering here, okay? And like I said, this is destined and inevitable. So whoever is grief stricken or whoever is suffering in this situation, they come around because they feel burdened by what they have lost and what opportunity they have missed. And I think that this burden is definitely burdening you. You feel the loss and grief too. But I think that there are people in an authority position or in an official capacity that have been burdened by grief. And that also makes them unfit for the position because they have not been able to pass a correct judgment because they're burdened by the loss of the people at the party. Especially if they're children, you feel like their lives have been ruined. There's no potential for their future. because, you know, they did something to fail themselves, okay? They squandered their own potential. They ruined their own life, okay? And so this person, you know, these authorities kind of felt like a smaller ally and a smaller friend to this child or this other person at the party and celebration, because, you know, and now I think they feel, okay, you know, so the truth is, you know, they do love you, okay? But some of them have been having a really big problem with age difference, okay? And this person who's going to prison, the truth is they do love you, okay? And I think that's why there's so much grief here. That's why there's so much burden here. It's because in the end, they did love you, okay? They did care about you. But it was only after they violated or benefited from your benevolence, okay? So there's a burden of, yeah, this military official person that have been showing an emotional weakness to another child, or to their spouse, that have been violating in this position, okay? We feel burdened by their grief and loss, but because in the end, they showed their heart and said that they loved you, or, you know, you guys realized that there was purity and devotion, but they cannot stay, okay? So this is inevitable, okay? If this military person, this official, this authority keeps showing an emotional weakness to get together with, you know, get together with an enemy or something like that. I'm hearing their ex, or another child. It's because they're still trying to celebrate and party. And I think that, you know, if you know, it's destined, because I think that, like, in this situation, people were really just lacking closure, and they want to keep the party and celebration going. And they know that once this court order is received, that the party will definitely be over, okay? There will be the end of many contracts. People's jobs will be ending. Relationships will end. This child's future is over, okay, because of their own failure, okay, their own decision making. So tell me about this situation, okay? The truth is, this person, this authority figure, they fell in love with you, okay? And this is also making them show emotional insecurity. Is because you've been a child, and there have been their spouse or some other options that they've been exploring, to deny the fact that they have loved you, okay? I also feel like some people will, you know, I think that in this moment they need to just focus on their official duty, because you see that they get together with other people, and we're not going to make this a battle for romantic attention or attraction. This is about someone who's been violating, and that's the only thing that matters, is for the authorities to fulfill their obligations. If they are getting together with others, just know that that means a change to your relationship, okay? Some of you guys, you know, after the official proceedings are over, then you guys can explore romantic relationship. But they have been here monitoring the situation since you've been a child, and it's a good outcome that they fell in love with you, but they need to end, you know, relationships with other people, especially the ones who are going to prison, to have, you know, while it's been a good outcome in true love, you know, I think that, you know, everyone wants to continue partying and having fun, but you're not partying and having fun anymore. We're just burdened by the loss of the true love, okay? So the discord cannot be undone. Their behavior cannot be undone. With the Ace of Swords, okay? The Tower. and the devil. Okay, so I think that, you know, this person has a shadow attachment. What did I say? This authority, they have a shadow attachment to, you know, if they're going to get together with other people, this, just know that you broke them in a way. Okay, just know that they're chasing after you, and they are, I think it's really something dangerous. Okay, because if they're an authority, they have a shadow attachment to this child or to a woman in the environment. Okay, and you know, they're lacking clarity about something, because they feel like it was a good outcome or that it was true love, but it represents an emotional insecurity or something like that. Okay, you know, with the devil, I think that this person and the lovers, I think that this person is just trying to recover from hardship or the division that happened with this woman and child, where our opinions turned negative. Okay, I think that you also have turned a negative judgment towards them. You don't really like this authority anymore because you realize that they're going to go get together with, they're having a get together with someone else, that they have a contract or a bond with. But you are, you know, you are their lover, is what I'm hearing. Okay, and this other person, I think that there was a discord that they're showing an emotional insecurity about, because at the end they were this was a journey to unconditional love, and so the burden of the grief and the loss is what we have to stand up to now, I think. Okay, Leo, that's what I'm seeing. Okay, so if they're going to get together with someone else, it's because they're also on the journey of unconditional love with, you know, these other people who have been at our party and celebration, but they have an official, they have a responsibility, and it's like something where they're shirking their responsibility because they're burdened by the grief of someone else. Okay, burdened by them going to prison, burdened by them losing high honor, burdened by them getting embarrassed in front of everybody, truthfully. Okay, I actually want to reshuffle these, Leo. Tell me what's happening. Okay, what's happening with the get together? Okay, what's happening with the get together? Oh yeah, they said they feel like they have heart for someone else. Okay, they feel like they have heart for someone that was violating you. Okay, someone that brings you, that's actually your inheritance, your unexpected money. So the official authority knows that this is your inheritance and that it's destined for you to receive this money, but they feel like they got their heart involved with someone else, and it's like not satisfactory, or it represents them being enraged, or a shadow attachment, where they feel like it represents something in their heart or something like that. Okay, this person, you know, you are unveiling a secret. Okay, and it is you're getting like you're unveiling a secret about someone who has been trying to compete for stardom and high honor, but they didn't invent anything, and we are revealing that they've been doing something to, you know, that's bringing you unexpected money. They started to show their heart and started to say, you know, they started to, you know, you guys started to find true love, is what I'm hearing. But I think that, you know, there's a change with this, in this situation, where you're no longer giving them heart because the discord cannot be undone. Okay, you are the, you know, they're burdened because you were the one that was chosen, and that they have to go to prison. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, more coming soon, Leo. Let me know how that resonates, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hi, Virgo. Let's get into your prerequisite for the extended for March. So let's see what's going on, Virgo, because this is getting wilder and wilder. Okay, we have isolation, okay? Virgo. Some of you guys have been very quiet, okay? Maybe you don't do a lot of talking in the public eye. And I think that you're very isolated from people. Some of you guys have fame and recognition, but you're still this isolation feels unreal. I think that the more stardom you get, the more isolated you become. People are in your awe a lot, and they are not a good friend, is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing people are more in your awe than they are a good friend. So it could feel very lonely, okay? Yeah, that's what I was getting. You know, I think that you're in isolation a lot because there's a lot like toxic expectations of you, okay? Especially if you have fame, stardom, okay, you're in the public eye. It's like people are in you see how they're just looking, you know, they just look at you a lot. They're in your awe. It feels unreal that people expect certain crazy things from you. And I think that it makes you, you know, your instinctual response is to isolate even more, is what I'm hearing, okay? I think that your response is to isolate even more because you're getting uncomfortable because they have like something where they have toxic expectations of you and they trip a lot, okay? So some of them, they go explore other options that they feel allied with, and you don't like them, okay? Or you don't like, you know, the expectations that people put on you, okay? So you know, some of them you do have fond memories, but they're not enough, okay? You have fond memories with them, but it just feels like nothing is ever enough. And I don't think that you're, you know that song by what is that song by Prince, When Doves Cry? You know, maybe I'm just like my mother, she's never satisfied. I think that this is a situation where you're never satisfied, okay? So you, instead of marrying, you might choose to go into isolation. If you are married, it is just for a public appearance or for financial security. But I think that, you know, you find these people to be, you know, they're cool friends, but I think that they have expectations of you that you're like, I don't really know if that's a value of friendship that I value or something like that, okay? We have murky thoughts, okay? So, yeah, I think that you're having murky thoughts because I think that you've been in isolation for a while, and this person has been, you know, someone has been going around to have one-on-one interactions with false people, projecting a toxic expectation onto a false person, or they have just been projecting onto you because of an age difference, especially if you're married to someone older than you. It's like, you know, you might feel lucky to have married them. You may have felt lucky to have receiving an opportunity or allyship with them. But some of them have a psychological illness. And that's why, you know, some of them have a psychological illness. And this is the toxic expectations and projections. Especially if they go explore options. It's not like those options are going anywhere. And so they just make you go isolate. When they project an expectation, it's not like it can be hidden. You're very aware of, this feels like someone that's been a friend, an ally, a brother, someone that you could be married to, someone that you have security with, that, you know, this person, they have an ex-partner, okay? They have an ex-partner that they project, okay? And I also feel like they have other relationships that they feel are meaningful to them, that they want to help out other people. And I don't think that that's something that you value. Some of them are helping out other people at your expense. because they see that you have a really, really great fortune. But some of these people that they're helping out are people who have been mean to you, or people who have been, like people who have violated you in a way. Someone's name here starts with the letter D, or letter T, something where they're reposting people who have been mean to you. They're reposting people who have shown that they have been negative towards you or envious of you. So I think that while they may have helped you with something, they make a lot of wrong turns, projecting expectations, especially if they reposted enemies, if they sent letters to enemies or people who have been mean to you. You have decided to stay in isolation, and I think that you have murky thoughts about this because you know that they're birds. But I think that in the end, I think that you just like decide to like focus on drawing the contract, because if they have been talking to people who have been envious of you or mean to you, that means that they have an expectation of you to endure something that you're uncomfortable with. So I think that they're also an L, okay? You're not really liking them, okay? Because of some expectation that they keep projecting that's making you instinctually go into isolation. Like if you see them, it's like they keep talking to you or keep making comments about what you're doing, and you're just like, I'm not interested in relating to you anymore, something like that. Something where you're deciding to leave a foundation that you built with somebody and go into isolation, okay? So, you know, I think that you just see them, you know, especially because some of them, they dog you out a lot because you're a child. You know, like I said, they go to their ex or something like that. They're still allied with their ex, or they're allied with other children, and they expect you to just, you know, jump on an emotional roller coaster with them while they send letters to people who have proven to be jealous of you or envious of you. And I think that they're just a big burden, okay? Whoever this is just like a big burden, and we're not really liking them, okay? They give you high honor. I think that that is the silver lining, is that they definitely give you high honor, but you don't like how they're trying to make you share or collaborate with people who have done something negative towards you, okay? And so I think that some of you guys just might abandon the endeavor, okay? Or your instinctual response is to go into isolation after receiving high honor, okay? So, you know, let's see what we need to know about the situation. Yeah, they feel like they're working on something, okay? They feel like they're working towards you. And they have already given you high honor. So it's a good sign that the Knight of Pentacles is in the upright position. But I think that they have not transitioned or evolved. And I think that a part of the delay is that you've already turned a negative judgment to them. So it's already like kind of like you don't like them, okay? Since they projected so much already. Like if they've already been projecting, I think that, you know, they've already been expecting a lot. I think that it is their psychological illness, or they are also going to prison, okay? If they have not shown up already, just know that they're degrading, they're betraying. This could even be someone in an authority. If they have not fulfilled, they keep projecting, or they keep expecting something absurd. And so I think that some of you guys, they've given you high honor, but some of you guys have turned a negative judgment towards them, and you decided to stop responding because they took too long, okay? And they say that you're being impatient, but I think that it's not impatience. It's just that they're making you uncomfortable talking to other people or something like that, okay? Yeah, I think that they find emotional, I think that you guys, I think that you do have fulfillment here, but they need to, you know, I think that your values do align, but I think that some of them, you know, they really have been turning your judgment, and you've been, you know, I think that you might have negative thoughts about them, even if they've given you high honor, because they have been resisting your transformation. And there's a lot of petty gossip about your relationship and these other people that they're talking to and posting and doing stuff. Like it's like something where, you feel like they're duplicitous, okay? Or you feel like, or you could just say that the relationship is not moving forward. Because some of them, they feel like they have other children and other relationships that are meaningful to them. And so if that is blocking them from doing what they need to do, I just think that it's not, you know, thanks for the honor, but we're not interested in talking to you. So I think that you just call it a quits this month after getting, like, some of you guys, you're about to leave a platform, or you're about to cancel a social media account. And it's like something, I think that if you do take a social media break, some of you guys, you're about to take a social media break, because someone keeps coming around. You know, they give you high honor, but I don't think that it's enough for you, okay? So some of you guys, if you leave this social media account, they are going to lose their minds, okay? So this is, I think that you decided to not work with this person who gave you high honor, okay? Because they went to go explore options of other children and their ex, and you did not like the emotional roller coaster that they put you on. So they lose your friendship, is what I'm hearing, okay? That's what I'm saying, Virgo. It's, even if you're married to this person, you just, all the gossip about them and all of the liberties that they have explored at your expense because you're a child has really made you not like them, okay? Especially if their name starts with the letter J, okay? Thank you so much. Let me know how this resonates, Virgo, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hi, Libra. Welcome to your prerequisite for the winners only selection, okay? The extended and winners only. So let's see what's happening for you. I feel like, oh my God, this has been so wild. Virgo, what's happening for you in March? Yeah, a miracle. Because I think you always get miracles, okay? Okay, you always run into miracles. So if one door closes, another one opens. So some of you guys, this is, especially if you're here continuing from Virgo's reading, this person who has been an ally giving you high honors, they also give high honors to people who have been mean to you, or people who you don't agree with the high honor. You don't like the high honor, you think that they're trash, and you don't want to work with them. So some of you guys, this door is closing. You're isolating from someone who may have given you high honor, and you're moving into a new, you are receiving a miracle. Okay, so yeah, with this authority, yeah, they said they have other allies, or they have, yeah, this authority. You know, they're saying that they were talking to people who were envious of you. With the bear, this is someone that's very envious of you. This could be the authority that's envious of you, or it's a miracle that you and this authority fell in love. But some of you guys, you know, this authority was, you know, they kept showing an emotional insecurity or weakness towards someone who's envious of you. And you are really getting aggressive, and it's really getting bad because they keep trying to get together with people who are envious of you, and it's making you super uncomfortable, okay? They don't even know how they're ruining their relationship, okay? They're trying to make it seem like, you know, because you are a star, or because you are, I'm hearing something where you know Beyonce, or you're with Queen Bee. They keep trying to make excuses for why it's okay to talk to these other people. It's because they're saying that this is an elitist mindset, and that you should be more inclusive, but we're not including anybody who's going to prison. And so if you want to include them, you can go to prison too. And some of you guys, you are receiving a miracle where someone is helping you put an end to this envy, because there have been people in an official capacity that keep showing emotional insecurity towards somebody who's envious of you, and they're saying they love them too, or this is not real, okay? they're saying that they love them too, or they keep trying to well, what if we can repair things, or what if we can get the party started again? I'm not interested in having no conversation about somebody who's envious. Can you say amen in the comments? Because we're not interested in anybody who's envious, okay? If this is an authority who's having a problem, they're also envious, okay? And they're degrading. So I think that you guys are receiving a miracle, where, you know, of protection from this envy, okay? Because you're a star and you're the it girl. A lot of people have been making a lot of excuses as to why it's okay to hurt you, especially if you're related to Beyonce or you're related to celebrities. They just see you as having the highest honor, or they see you as elitist and not being inclusive. But to be truthfully honest, this could create a harsh classes divide, because these people do not know how to act. Like, you don't want to talk to them, you don't want to be around them. They're just envious. It's not, what do we need to be inclusive about if you're just envious? Okay. And I'm actually, view my shorts, because I'm actually about to post a video about, like, manifesting, because this situation is like, it feels like there are, people who feel inferior. Like, we can have inclusivity if you don't approach the situation from an inferior state of mind, right? Like, if it's envy, it's just envy. Like, you can't be, like, we can't be envious of, like, we can be friends with someone from a different social class, but we can't be friends with someone from a different social class that's envious, okay? Okay. So, yeah, I think that, yeah, they keep fleeing to the envy, okay? Because they feel unstable about them. And some of them were, they didn't want to believe that people were envious of you. Or finding out that they were envy made them unstable, okay, in a way. Finding out that they were envy made them unstable. In this military, this authority position, whoever this is, if this is an authority, they're definitely declining. They are getting impeached and removed from their position. So this person has been in, this is a mental illness where they cannot release a limiting belief about somebody that's envious. Okay, somebody cannot release a limiting belief about somebody that's envious, and they keep throwing tantrums. Okay, these women keep throwing tantrums, but they need to stay strong. Okay, something where, they may have scattered energy because they have been, they were relating to envy, okay? But I think that they finally unlocked the key about how this has been a theft, or how this was truly envy. And so this makes them feel unstable, because they didn't want to be, a lot of it is because of, like, okay, so for example, right, if this is an authority who is a different racial group, like, and it became like something where it was an organ inferiority complex. Like, if they're, like, some of them, they come from a racial group where that organ inferiority is common, so they did not want to admit the fact that these people who where they need to enforce something with these people, but they have been failing to enforce with these people because they are also struggling with admitting the truth about an organ inferiority complex. Like, they don't want to admit that they're actually, like, they don't want to admit that they're actually inferior, and that they were admitting the fact that, like, I don't know, something where revealing their envy of your hips or your breast or of you in some type of way will reveal that you were the more advantageous traits, or that you had the better ancestry. And so they don't want, because of their organ inferiority complex or their issue with multiculturalism, they keep showing a weakness towards a woman in the environment that's envious. It's like they don't want to admit to, does that make sense? It's like they have a limiting belief about this person and have been denying their envy. And so, it coming to the light that they're envious makes them unstable and debunks, I don't want to say debunks, but it it proves that they have an organ inferiority, okay? And that's something that disempowers their cultural group, okay? That's what I'm saying. I think that they do, it's a miracle that they do resolve this conflict peacefully, because it's clear, okay? It's clear that it's envy, okay? But they haven't been wanting to admit that it's envy, okay? And so some of them have been in a wishful thinking that these were romantic attractions. And you know, they've been trying to find a romantic interest in becoming unhinged with someone who's envious of you, okay? So you can't have a romantic attraction with somebody that's envious of you. And something where they, I don't know, something where they kept trying to make an organ inferiority their romantic interest. They kept trying to replace you with someone whose organ was inferior and who was envious of you, okay? But I think that you are finding a miracle this month where you are, you know, someone is staying strong around this matter, because they keep trying to disempower you, or they, you know, they're used to having romantic interest in inferior organs. They're used to inferior organs. It's because they could also be inferior organ. Like I said, this could be a shadow attachment, pain, and shame trigger from their cultural group, or something that makes them feel rejected and abandoned, okay? Thank you so much, Libra. Let me know how that resonates, and I'll see you over in the extended. Bye. Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to your prerequisite for the Winners Only Extended. I hope that you join our Winners Only and get access to the extended, the elite docket. And that's definitely how you embrace inclusivity, is by joining the winner circle, becoming a winner. Instead of being jealous of someone's social class, refine yourself and get the social power that you want, okay? Okay. Scorpio, so let's see, okay? What is happening for you? Completion. Yeah, it's a done deal, friend, okay? There's no more conversating to have. There's no more letters to send. There's no more chit-chatting with these hoes in my house. There's no more denying the facts of reality with your psychological illness. There's only a grave, and there's a ditch, and that's for you, bitch. So anybody got a problem can go ahead and jump in with them, okay? There's no sympathy. There's no pity. There's no grief, burden, or loss. The heart of the matter is the violation. Scorpio, what do we need to know? What do we need to know in this month? Okay. The Siren spouse has completed a cycle, okay? The Siren spouse is becoming wild and unhinged, okay? There's a change, okay? There's a change. There could possibly be a change to your spouse, okay? This person, they may have been a temporary, some of them are just friends, okay? Especially the ones who project onto your beauty. Yeah, they're just friends. They appreciate the beauty, but they can't feel secure to have beauty, okay? Some of them is because they're fat, or they're really cheap, okay? So I think that, you know, this Scorpio, there's a completed cycle, and there is a manifestation attainment, okay, with the stork. Tell me about the stork. Yeah, there is the change in the progress is that you've received very high honor now, okay? And I think that you have to manifest with an authority, okay? But your siren, your spouse, there was a discord with your spouse, okay? And you know, this person, the discord cannot be undone, and they have been getting distracted by birds and bongos and whatever else. And I think that you feel violated. I think that you feel violated, you feel disrespected, you feel irritated, you feel anger, you just want your money. Something like you just want your money. And so, you know, there's progress because you are getting a high honor, but I think that you could be getting really impatient because you just want your money. Because after this, like, I think that this this, you know, this was theft or a big violation. And so like you're not really negotiating anything, and so that's why there's completion here. But you know, and you have a great fortune, and I think that you really just need to stay patient, friend. You are manifesting it, because the completion, the cycle where, you know, your status has been affirmed. Okay, your status is affirmed. You are receiving a great fortune, but I think that you need to manifest with this authority. Okay, and I think that you don't want to talk to them because you feel like you've already been doing enough. And so whatever they're, you know, whatever, it's like something where they just want you to keep going on and on and on about, you know, something. And it's like they're failing to deliver the money. But I think that there may be some logistical things to handle before you get your money. I think that's something where you just want your money. And so they're like, wow, okay. You know, all this discord, you know, it makes them feel like you don't care about them anymore, that you're not romantic about them anymore. And I think that you're really not. You just want your money. So if they were previously, I think the change is happening is that if they were previously your spouse, or you previously were romantically involved with them, you know, all of the discord and all of the delay and all of, you know, you've grown really impatient and bitter. And I think that you do have high honor, and that's beautiful. But some of them, you know, I think that the change is that they're no longer your spouse or no longer a romantic interest. You let them know, take your romantic interest off the table. If you're going around looking for romantic interest and different options, if you're going around looking for intimacy, if you're going around to try to compare beauty, it's not working for you. If they keep getting distracted by something else, it's like they give you the highest honor for your beauty, right? But I think that some of you guys have just been so much discord about your age difference or some other kind of, you know, unconventional thing, your lifestyle, your approach to your lifestyle, your age difference, your age, your, you know, your body type, your, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's been so much discord with your spouse. You're just like, I'm not even romantically interested in them anymore. And so I think the change is where they, you know, you manifest with them as your authority or as in an official capacity, in a professional way, and take the romantic, you know, intimacies off the table. If they're going around looking for intimacy and romance, you're like, you are definitely not intimate. If you're going around to, you know, unhinged, trying to explore it, we're definitely not into it. So I think that that's the change, that like they gave you high honor, you know, and may have shown romantic interest, but I think that you complete the cycle where you are no longer interested in a romance, you're just interested in your payout. So some of them, they could be having another discord about you this month, about you, you know, trying to say that you're a money hungry, social climbing, fame hungry person. But I think that there has been so many cycles of you, you know, providing a sanctuary for people, providing pleasure for people, being nice. Don't be so nice anymore. We're not interested in a romantic relationship. So if that's what you're negotiating, we can take that off. We can nip that in the motherfucking bud right now, bitch. I'm not interested. I don't give a fuck about no romantic feelings for no hoe. All I care about is my money, hoe. Somebody been delaying the money, they need to come with this motherfucking check. I think that this month, your status is affirmed. So you don't have to worry that your check is not getting cleared. I just think that you are just irritated by the discord and how that has led to you not being, you know, your spouse. It's just, you're not interested in the spouse anymore because there's been so much discord around your spouse and people, you know, your spouse getting like something where your spouse gets distracted and you're just like, you can't be real to be getting distracted by something or someone when I need my money. You can't, this is unreal, right? You can't possibly be exploring options when you have to pay me my money. They're saying that you don't have a sense of humor, and that you don't like something where they're saying that you're very technical or you're very clinical, and you get a lot of high honor for your professional work that you do. And I think that you will manifest, you complete the cycle of discord with your spouse and move into your official capacity and keep it professional, okay? Because they making you uncomfortable after all this discord and this delaying and not paying you your money on time or something like that. They're trying to say that you're being impatient because it's a great fortune. But this has been too long for you. You might be impatient, but I think that it has been too long. Okay. Or you've done a lot of this work on your own, and this person who says that you're their spouse, you've been doing a lot of work alone, and they have been getting distracted, and you're like, you can't possibly be getting distracted when my money needs to be delivered, or something like that. Like something where it's like they're like, oh, we already give you high honor. And I think that if you are somebody's main chick, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, if you're someone's main chick, your partner is definitely a bird. Okay, I don't want to be mean, but they give you the high honor, and they think that that's a justification. They think that that's sufficient or something like that. They think that that's, you know, because they put you over their commercial, or they give you the highest honor, or they name you their main chick, or the captain of the ship, or something like that, that it's okay to get, like, they feel like, oh, it's okay to go get distracted or to go explore other options because they already gave you the highest honor. And some of you guys, you're just like, we are not agreeing. There's a lot of discord about what high honor means to you. And I think that in this month, you transition from, you know, them giving you high honor for romance and maybe even work that you do, to you just delivering for them in a professional way and taking the romantic interest off the table. If they want to, you know, they might have you on the commercial, and I think that that's the wish fulfillment that you get. But if they want to, like, if they keep getting distracted, or they keep showing emotional insecurity when it's time to do something professional or do something contractual, it's making you uncomfortable. Okay, so I think that this is a missed opportunity, and that this is a completed cycle where you take them, that they're no longer an option for romance, and that it's just professional. Okay, the Hangman, and then the Queen of Wands in reverse. Yeah, I think that they were previously your spouse, but you are losing intimacy for them, losing passion for them. And you know, you might not have been expecting this relationship to fizzle out, but I think that you've received everything that you've needed to know about the situation, because I do think that their resentment is building. Okay, I think that this is someone who was previously your spouse, but their resentment has started to build when you decided to keep it professional, when you told, especially because, like, something where it's been a delay or discord, you were really uncomfortable. And so they were, you know, this discord in their professional or official authority position made you uncomfortable. And so when you took romance off the table, they got even more angry. Okay, and this made them lose hope. Okay, because, you know, you decided to keep it professional. They felt rejected. Okay, but they had already, you know, been doing and saying things that they don't mean, and some of them they're elsewhere. Okay, they're elsewhere, or they're bitter too. You know, so if they're exploring the envy, if they're exploring the bitterness, it's because they're bitter too. Okay, I think there's a change to the honor that they give you. Okay, I think that when the discord happened, they really felt a lot of inner criticism and a lot of doubt, and did not answer the call. And so, you know, instead of taking responsibility for their poor self-image, they started to grow resentful. And I think that you already received a high honor. Okay, but I think that you just keep it professional. Okay, or they are also bringing you unexpected money. You're going to be taking their position or impeaching them, forcing them to resign. Okay, because you're revealing some kind of emotional insecurity that they've been having. Okay, I think that they do have heart for you, but I think that they feel so rejected now, because they're just your ex now. I think that you said no, that this is just a contract. You guys are just getting together for the contract. Okay, you're not getting together to move the romantic relationship forward, because they made you uncomfortable, and it made me uncomfortable too, friend, for you. All right, that's what I'm saying, Scorpio. I mean, the cycle is completed with this, and it's official, that you get your great fortune and your unexpected money and high honor, but your spouse changes. You don't want them. Okay, thank you so much. Let me know how this resonates, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh my gosh, sorry Sagittarius, I already recorded this, but something happened, the file corrupted. Okay, so Scorpio, you know, what I was getting, you know, just to this quick recap, is, you know, there's something that you need to forgive in the month of March. But I think that, you know, there has been so much discord with this person. Somebody has truly struggled with an unconventional aspect of your relationship. And, you know, I think that if you have not been able to forgive by now, I think that it's a lost cause, okay? So this is not something that you value, is what I'm hearing, okay? You know, when this person, I was getting that this person started to, you know, this kind of has been a running theme throughout the zodiac, is that they started to give honor to someone that was false, and you had already given them a warning about them being false. So, you know, I think that they want forgiveness, but it's not something that you're offering, because you had already told them that it was a no-go from the jump. It was a no-brainer from the jump. You had already told them, you know, you had already warned them about a false person. So some of them, they, you know, you started to see it as a betrayal. If they were, you know, honoring someone or trying to send honor and gift to someone who was false that you had already told them about, they're also a bird, okay? Yeah, the false person. So, you know, it's weird that they had, you know, they're bringing unexpected money. Some of them didn't know that they were bringing unexpected money. But I think that, you know, their expectation was, you know, they did not expect this person to be bringing unexpected money. They didn't expect, you know, but I think that you had already told them that it was false. You had already let them know that there was danger in a matter. They were already, you know, you had already had multiple conversations about this false person. So I think that this was something that you found to be absurd. So I think that you're declining in your intimacy and passion with this person because they fell short after had already getting a warning. That's weird. Like, it's weird that you would try to, it means that they are intentionally trying to hurt you. If they went to go explore someone that you had already warned them about, or that had clearly been showing up in a negative way, this is really not, there's really no excuse for why they were sending letters and gifts to people who have been false. The good news is that they're going to prison, so it don't matter what honor you give them, because they're going to prison, bitch. Okay? Okay. So they were just a conventional loser in life, and nothing is ever moving forward with them. It's like something where I don't know what they were doing, but I kind of forgot. Man, I wish I had, you know, the other file did not get corrupted, but I think that, you know, in this situation, you do release your resentment, but that doesn't mean reconciliation. If they went to go explore something false and they have not fulfilled an obligation in a way, they're also getting caught for crime as well. They're also going to prison, okay? So don't worry about anything, okay? Violators will be told, but I think that you keep running across the same conventional issue. It's like so draining to keep coming across the same conventional issue, where especially if you already give them a warning or you've already had the foresight in a situation and they still do something to betray, okay? It's like weird where we already told you about that. So it's like, what are you doing? And I think that, like, it was because somebody was envious of your beauty, and if they were trying to compare your beauty to something else, it was because they were also mad about your beauty. Like something where there are a lot of people mad about your beauty, okay? So with the Eight of Pentacles, they felt like they needed to go master something with the ugly or with the false person. They didn't start a new spiritual beginning with this false person. They know that this person has to, you know, they know that it was false. Because it didn't start as a new spiritual beginning, they know that it's false and declining. But they were inspired to take some type of action towards a false person that you're confused about, okay? Somebody that was envious. So I think that this created a big conflict with you. It created a sense of betrayal with you, and they feel like they try to justify their behavior because they said that you were tripping, or that you were having a problem about something. But I think that there wasn't really no excuse for them to be trying to honor somebody that you've already had multiple discussions about their violation, their imprisonment, and their, how they have been bringing you unexpected money. Okay, something where they tried to make it a giving situation. They tried to make it about giving, and you're like, I'm not sure why you would be giving to someone who's going to prison. Yeah, this was what came out in the last one. Some of them, they were really, they were going to explore, and they were inspired, to take action to explore something unconventional about your relationship. And this person still has not recommitted to and started a spiritual new beginning around your unconventional relationship. So if they have been struggling with if you know that they're struggling with multiculturalism, organ inferiority complex, race, if they've been struggling with age difference, if they've been struggling with same gender, if they've been struggling with something unconventional about your relationship, they are also going to prison. Okay, if they've been struck for this long by now and they have not started a new spiritual beginning, know that they're also going to prison. Okay, some of you, they really brought the burden of envy to your relationship, and they want you to forgive them, for bringing a burden of envy. And they're saying that, oh, but, can I fix it by putting them in prison and giving you unexpected money? I think that your problem will be fixed regardless. It's not up to them to decide if they go to prison. Honestly, they can go to prison too, something like that. But I think that it is, they have already missed this opportunity. I think that that's what I was getting from them. That's what I was missing. Yeah, this is a missed opportunity. This person, when they went to go explore a false person, or they were struggling with the unconventional aspect of your relationship, and they feel like they needed to master something unconventional in another relationship, they missed an opportunity with you. I think this made you feel so uncomfortable, because it showed that they had a codependency to cope with something unconventional, especially if they felt bad about someone not having hips, someone having bad teeth, or someone not having a nice butt. It's like the way that your hips spread, they've been feeling very insecure about your body and or something unconventional that makes you separate from others. And they want you to forgive, okay? And they think that you'll forgive them once this person goes to prison or something like that. But I think that, if they had been taking actions they were inspired to take some type of action. Some of them, they said that it was a romantic interest. Some of them had a romantic interest in somebody that was false. Or they were unhinged, trying to replace you. And this is what is putting them in prison. It's like, this was a huge burden of envy from them as well. So if they went to go explore other options that were envious, it's because they were also envious or struggling with people envying you. You have a contract with this person, and I think that this person has contracts because this is a binding ring. A lot of this, they had already, these are people who have been a part of the foundation or ancestry, and they have had an unavoidable contact with these people for the contract. But I think that they were not able to, if they have not started a spiritual new beginning, they are still lacking closure from the false people. And you're like, what are you lacking closure about? It's like something where they don't have closure, that they did not move forward, and they are very burdened that the relationships didn't move forward because they felt like they were rejections. But I think that it was, rejections because they were envious, okay? Oh, well, they rejected themselves, is what I'm hearing, okay? Yeah, this person, the King of Pentacles in the reverse, they're going to prison because they struggle with unconventional relationship. This is about trying to disempower you, truly, if they went to go explore something envious. But that's what I'm seeing, friends. My battery's dying. Bye.